You hear in the 6 o'clock hour, the Food and Drug Administration has granted full approval to Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine. This is breaking news as of just this morning. This is a huge pandemic milestone, and it's a decision doctors hope will push more people to get vaccinated. We'll bring in KTVU's James Torres. You've been following what this means, and we'll focus on what full approval in particular means for this country.
Well, according to the FDA, Pfizer will now be marketed under a new name. The drug will now be called Comirnaty. It's officially licensed and approved for anyone 16 years and older. About 12,000 vaccine recipients were followed for about 6 months. The FDA reports Comirnaty is now about 91% effective. Scientists now hope this will be the push for skeptics to get a vaccine, arguing for months it was safe and effective before today's approval. It also means we will soon see a number of new coronavirus vaccine mandates before legal challenges could be made in court as the drug was under emergency use. Those mandates likely to happen right here in San Francisco, too, for city and county employees. Leaders have said in the past they would mandate vaccines once full FDA approval was given. People who refuse could face a consequence as extreme as losing their job. But the big question here today, what is the real difference between this morning's announcement and the emergency use authorization? I got the answer.
But what do we have now that we didn't have back in December? Well, in December, we had what was called the phase 3 clinical trial data for the Pfizer vaccines, which looked great. It was a big trial. But now what do we have? Scads of real world data, real world effectiveness and safety data that shows that these vaccines are profoundly effective in terms of preventing hospitalization.
The name change doesn't mean much. Dr. Gandhi tells me that's just the drug company putting a brand to the vaccine. That typically happens after an FDA approval, and that might be helpful later on if Pfizer ever produces a new variant-specific vaccine. The emergency authorization still stands for kids as young as 12 to 15 years old. A third booster shot also still under that emergency approved for use for people with weakened immune systems. Both Moderna and Johnson & Johnson have applied for full approval. President Joe Biden is set to speak on the announcement in a little more than an hour. We're live in the newsroom this morning. I'm James Torres, KTVU, Fox 2 News.
All right, James.